The first time I addressed this convention, not wishful thinking, but 8 years later, that hope has been tested by the cost of war, by one of the worst economic crises in history, and by political gridlock that's left us wondering whether it's still even possible to tackle the challenges of our time. Trivial things become big distractions. Serious issues become sound bites. The truth gets buried under an avalanche of money and advertising. I mean, if you're sick of hearing me approve this message, believe me, so am I. Over the next few years, big decisions will be made in Washington on jobs, the economy, taxes and deficits, energy, education, war and peace. War and peace. War and peace. Decisions that will have a huge impact on our lives and on our children's lives for decades to come. And on every issue, the choice you face won't just be between two candidates or two parties. It will be a choice between two different paths for America, a choice between two fundamentally different visions for the future. But they don't want you to know their plan. And that's because all they have to offer is the same prescriptions they've had for the last 30 years. Have a surplus? Try a tax cut. Deficit too high? Try another. Feel the cold coming on? Take 2 tax cuts, roll back some regulations, and call us in the morning. Now, I've cut taxes for those who need it. We have been there, we've tried that, and we're not going back. We are moving forward, America. Now, I won't pretend the path I'm offering is quick or easy. I never have. You didn't elect me to tell you the truth. And the truth is, national security and the deficit. Real, achievable plans. I've met workers in Detroit and Toledo who feared they'd never build another American car. I've worked with business leaders because we work harder and smarter than anyone else. I've signed trade agreements that are helping our companies sell more goods to millions of new customers. And after a decade of decline, we can give more tax breaks to corporations that ship jobs overseas. We can help big factories double their exports. And if we choose this path, we can create 1 million new manufacturing jobs in the next 4 years. You can make that happen. You can choose that future. So now you have a choice between a strategy that reverses this progress or one that builds on it. We've opened millions of new acres for oil and gas exploration in the last 3 years, and we'll open more. Or collect another $4 billion in corporate welfare from our taxpayers. We're offering a better path. And yes, my plan will continue to more droughts and floods and wildfires. They are a threat to our children's future, and in this election, you can do something about it. For the first time in a generation, nearly every state has answered our call because we finally took on a system that wasted billions of taxpayer dollars on banks and lenders. And now you have a choice. We can gut education. The government has a role in this, but teachers must inspire. Principals must lead. And together, I promise you, we can out-educate and out-compete any nation on earth. Help us work with colleges and universities to cut in half. We can meet that goal together. You can choose that future for America. That's our future. You know, in a world of new threats and new challenges, you can choose leadership that has been tested and proven. I promise to refocus on the terrorists who actually attacked us on 9/11, and we have. Tonight, we pay tribute to the Americans who still serve in harm's way. And so long as I'm Commander-in-Chief, we will sustain the strongest military the world has ever known. Around the world, we've strengthened old alliances. We've reasserted our power across the Pacific. From Burma to Libya to South Sudan, we have advanced. But for all the progress that we've made, challenges remain. Terrorist plots. So now we have a choice. This is the choice we now face. This is what the election comes down to. Over and over, we've been told by our opponents that bigger tax cuts and fewer regulations are the only way. That since government can't do everything, it should do almost nothing. If you can't afford health insurance, hope that you don't get sick. If a company releases toxic pollution into the air your children breathe, well, that's the price of progress. If you can't afford to start a business or go to college, take my opponent's advice and borrow money from your parents. We're not entitled to success. We have to earn it. We don't want handouts for people who refuse to help themselves. The government is the source of all of our problems. Because America, we understand that this democracy is ours. That a freedom which asks only what's in it for me, a freedom without a commitment to others, a freedom without love or charity or duty or patriotism, I'm hopeful because of you. And everyone plays by the same rules, then I need you to vote this November. America, I never said this journey would be easy, and I won't promise that now. Yes, our path is harder, but it leads to a better place. Yes, our road is longer, but we travel it together. We don't turn back. We leave no one behind.